Again? I think we can try again. I don't know. We lost about 20 minutes there. A good 20 minutes. I'm going to go live. I'm going to see if Coach Farley joins us at 8:15, if we can have a strong internet signal for that 8:15 segment. And then we'll go from there. So let's see if Coach Farley is going to jump on at 8:15. If he does, then we'll conduct the interview. We'll be live. And if he doesn't, then we'll just shut it down and start fresh tomorrow. But I do have a strong Wi-Fi signal right now, and I do want to see if Coach Farley is going to jump on at 8:15 because that's his scheduled time. And as far as I know, he is jumping on. So we'll just go on standby and wait for him to see if he's going to come on or not. So again, if you're just joining us, this is the part 2 of the Monday edition of the Morning Buzz. We had a great first, 40 Wi-Fi signal. The signal just kind of completely went. We had to kind of reboot systems and restart things and all kinds of stuff. So, hey, if you're looking at my shirt, the name of our show here is The Morning Buzz. This shirt is The Morning Brew. It's a different, it's actually where I got the name Morning Buzz, kind of. Morning Brew is a great morning newsletter that I subscribe to. They cover kind of all kinds of news items and whatnot, but Morning Buzz is kind of like my take on this. It's more of like, hey, what's the buzz around town? A good wine buzz, a good coffee buzz, a good craft beer buzz, just all of that kind of as one. So let's see. It seems like everything's going well on the feed from what I can tell. All right, it looks like we got Coach Farley that's going to jump in. Let me just check here, there. Joe Farley.
How's it going?
Oh, man, I've had better mornings. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So far, so good.
We had a little internet connectivity issue happening, so we had to kind of shut down and reboot the whole system, but it seems to be working fine now. So
Yeah. Well, I'm on my phone again. I don't know what my work computer just doesn't like that link or something. It never is
yeah,
able to upload.
Renee Argain had the same issue again this morning, so it's got to be something with some type of firewall.
Okay.
But I'm going to go over and see if I can get her up and running so she can join us next Monday. But and then Coach Crow's obviously had some issues in the past too. So So hey, congratulations on Friday, by the way. Hosting our first football game in a little over a year. Seemed to go off without a hitch, at least from the standpoint of the kids being able to play and the parents that and the spectators that were there being able to participate. So congratulations on that. What are your thoughts on how it went?
Yeah, no, it was pretty great. A little overstaffed, but that was good. We got a whole lessons learned, and we're meeting. Some of us in the office that were at the game are meeting today at 1 just to kind of review and see where we can improve. But yeah, as far as the parents that came out and the community that was able to be there, it was everyone was doing what we asked of them, and it was a perfect showcase kind of to the people that are in charge or making these decisions that we can have these events and we can run them safely and smoothly. And we were really happy with how everything turned out, and it was capped off by a good night on the football field as well.
Absolutely. And did you feel like, as a staff, you guys had to do some policing to make sure people were in compliance, or was it, for the most part, everybody knew what they needed to do and you kind of
Yeah,
went from there?
No, I think even as short notice as we as we did it, getting that message out of what we were allowing and how we were going to move forward, it was I wasn't at the front gate. I maybe was out there for five couples to enter into the facility, but people showed up. They had their masks on and made it to the crowd. We had some tape down in the stadium, and some people were like, "Do we sit in the tape or outside the tape?" They were asking the right
Right.
questions. We could always be a little bit more clear, I'm sure. And but yeah, we were happy with the turnout, and there wasn't any policing or making these demands of, hey, do this, do that. And then another change, and I know it's kind of it's an unfortunate or sad one with the end of the game. We like to invite the parents usually down onto the field and take some pictures with the kids. But this year we're having to limit that and the interactions that we have on the field just for the protection of our kids and our our coaching staff, but then also the opposing team. So we had to limit that, and that was another late notice. I ran up to Andrew Cherry, who was announcing, and reminded him, hey, we got to remind him that we can't invite them onto the field.
Sure.
But Coach Crow took the team straight to the ag quad and addressed the team there. And so I'm hoping with things that continue to get better, and senior night this year, if we can get the other team off the field and things are much better, that we can get some of those special photos that I know are very special for the parents.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I think the parents are all very understanding of, hey, you know what, it's a fair trade-off. We'll gladly take not being able to meet the team on the field after for the opportunity to at least go watch our kids play, right? Just in
Right.
the interest of public health and safety. I
Yeah.
mean, it's makes sense. So, Mr. Mack didn't really have any answers, and I don't know if you can elaborate or speak to a comment on the second change, the cheerleaders being able to, I think up until Friday it wasn't going to happen, right?
Yeah, I lost you a little bit there, but I think your question was in regards to the cheerleaders. Um, yeah, so in the guidelines, the California Department of Public Health, for whatever reason, someone sitting in an office made the choice that the cheer and band weren't, they were just support groups. So that kind of threw us for another whirlwind, tailspin, whatever you want to call it. And with our facility, and how small it kind of is in comparison, we were trying to think of the best way to still offer it, especially to our older cheerleaders, the seniors. That was kind of my priority was, well, I'm willing to get my, get stick my neck out there a little bit just so these varsity cheerleaders can have some sort of season. So we're moving forward with a plan to have the varsity cheerleaders out there mainly for those seniors on that team. And then Friday morning, I'm down in the stadium, and I get a text from our varsity cheer coach with the article from, I believe it was Mercury News, sent it my
Okay.
way and said, what does this mean for us? So then that was probably around 10 a.m. So then around that time, it's back to the drawing board, and can we fit the capacity of allowing the same amount of people for the rest of the cheerleaders and two guests for them. And so we kind of did some simple math, and we figured, yeah, we can make it happen with that. So we were happy to have the cheerleaders. Last week, if you were unaware, they were in the end zone. And I walked to kind of the far south end of the field just to see if I could hear them. And Lindsay, our cheer coach, was like, can you hear us? And I was loud and clear, so it
Yeah.
was a little bit of a different atmosphere with having them down there, but all in all, I think it was good, and they were happy to be down there. And it was one other safety precaution to have them down there.
I thought it was cool. It worked out well. And so I'm not familiar with the San Jose Mercury News article. Were they basically saying that it was going to be allowed, or what did the article state?
Yeah, it was. They got some, insider info that basically that the state was gonna change that ruling to allow cheerleaders specifically. So it was all good news.
And have you been in contact with the band director at all, and what that might look like?
Well, so the ruling has not changed for band at this time, and so I haven't been in much communication with Mr. Landers. I know his class is kind of just now getting together with being back on school and kind of getting the practices down for marching band, but it still does not allow for band at this time. So that's you know, one unfortunate thing.
Yeah, I just don't know if I can handle another Friday of Coach Cherry playing the SC fight song over the loudspeaker.
Yeah, I know. You and me are fellow Notre Dame fans,
That's
so
right.
just so we can get it out there, it wasn't something that I allowed or that I encouraged. I was a little disgusted, but I had other things to be doing.
Yeah, we're gonna have to hand out barf bags at the snack bar too. So, the live stream, I would say 95% of the feedback that I got from the live stream was it was great. The only issue was no score showing, right? And so, but for the most part, I think maybe one or two people said they were having issues, but everybody else online was saying that the live stream was awesome. Did you? And actually, they took the video from that live stream and the coaches were able to view it as well as a secondary source of game film. So that's cool. Did you get a chance to see any of that footage?
Yeah, I think we're having problems again, but there from the live stream is it was the scoreboard was kind of the only downside. I was able to pull up some statistics from it, and we had about 970 people tune in via the live stream. That was great news. The scoreboard, that was the part of the installation that I was in charge
Oh,
of, and so of course that's where all the complaints came.
I think we lost Joe there. Oh, Coach Farley is gone. All right. Well, that's Joe Farley. He's the athletic director for Templeton High School. And here we are, another Monday edition of the Morning Buzz with connectivity issues. I dropped the signal completely around 7:40 and then got it back around 8:10. And Coach Farley's in and out with us, sounding like a robot, trying to get back on right now. Don't know if he's going to be able to reconnect, but let's see here. Joe, if you can hear us, say hello.
I can hear you.
It doesn't look like it's going to happen. Well, we got the gist of it. Really cool for Joe to stick his neck out there and make sure that the cheerleaders had the opportunity to kind of do some last minute planning to put together the strategy to get them out on the field and cheering for the kids during that game. It was great to see them out there. They were loud. They were in a different spot, but that spot, I think, worked out great. I think that to see them spread out across that whole end zone was really unique and fun and different. And it just added to like this. I think it added to like a stadium feel myself, right? We had the announcer happening over here. We had the cheerleaders happening over here. And then we had the parents happening over here. It was kind of like a 3/4 thing going on, which was cool. And then we had the student section that was, they were outside of the fence on public property. I don't know if they were, hopefully they were, taking precautions and being safe, wearing masks and distancing, and maybe not, I don't know. But they were cheering. So, you know, we had that kind of 300-degree radius of cheer section happening for those kids. So really cool. I watched some of the video of the game itself, and it sounded loud on the video. And so 22. So there's a lot of great runs, but I'm looking specifically for this run. It was a touchdown run by Tyler, and let me see if I could find it. I wanted to play it for you guys on the screen if it shows up. Is it this one? It is this one. Okay, so let me download this video. I'm going to download this video. And so when we watch it, we can hear the crowd cheering. And like I said, I thought they sounded great. The crowd was loud, and I think it was good. All right, it's exporting right now. We're about 2 minutes away from being able to play it. Hold on, stand by. Wi-Fi is going in and out again, but that's not going to stop us. We're just going to keep motoring through this thing to see if, okay, so here's the run. Let's see. Boom. That we got the whole thing for you guys to see. Turn it on.
It's above his blood.
All right, so you saw the cheerleaders there in the end zone cheering. You heard the crowd. Again, you'd never know it by how loud the crowd was that we were at 20% capacity. So really cool. The fans just came out and did awesome. Hey, I did want to point out too, I'm sure you guys know it by now, but Jax did something really awesome. And what they ended up doing was they paid for the admission to the entire game for everybody. So they covered the door charge for everybody at the game, which is incredible. That's a nice donation that they did for all the parents. And so Jax Templeton, thank you for doing that. That is just another example of our awesome community and all the things that we have, and the support that we have from the community as well. So Jax did an amazing thing. They went out of their way and covered the admission for all the parents on Friday night. So thank you, Jax, for doing that. If you haven't been to Jax and had their Jax tacos, I do the carnitas, and it's like to die for. They do a little onion on it, the little red onion with the cheese. It's like the smoked carnitas is amazing. So Jax has great tacos. The other thing I eat at Jax, which I absolutely love, is the ahi poke bowl. But I change it a little. I put a fried egg on top of it with avocado as well, and that's like so good. So everything at Jax is good. What am I talking about? Another special thanks to Mr. Ian McPhee and McPhee's Restaurant for hosting the players and the team for their traditional game day luncheon that they have there. So that's another tradition staying alive. Really cool that the kids were able to do that. What else did I want to talk about? Live stream. We talked about Jack's. We talked about McPhee's, and I went over some stats. And so yeah, it's just a great Friday. Again, the T flags, here they are. We sold 7 of them on Friday. I had them with me in my backpack, so I'll have them again this week. I have them on me now. So if you want a T flag, they're $37.50. It's a fundraiser for the Culture Initiative, and that's a nonprofit that's devoted to raising funds and spending money on kids at the high school that aren't necessarily represented by any particular club or booster, fundraising arm. So Culture Initiative, the T flags that you see all around town, you can get them from me. You can DM me, you can text me, you can send me an email, morningbuzzaroundtown@gmail.com, and I can save you a flag and we can hook up. So cool that the flags were being offered there, and awesome that 7 people purchased them. That was really cool. So that's 7 more flags out and about in our town. So in case you're just joining us, we had connectivity issues at 7:45. I had to shut the feed down, and we lost a good 20-25 minutes, unfortunately. And so we're having feed issues today. Coach Farley came on at 8:15, and then we lost his feed. Renee Argain was going to join us for Monday Motivation with Miss Argain, and she couldn't get on because of the feed. So, this is just the joys of working out all the kinks when it comes to a live stream community show. And that's the goal, right? The show is meant to be kind of a sounding board and in a community platform and forum for us to just promote positivity, share information, and get to know each other a little better. So that's the Morning Buzz. We haven't talked about the weather today. So the fog's gonna burn off hopefully in East Templeton because it's pretty foggy right now. But high is gonna be 66 degrees today. Lows 39, which this morning when I woke up, it was 39 degrees outside. Winds out of the northeast 3 miles an hour. And we do have kind of wind advisories happening in the South County and into Santa Barbara County. So those springtime winds are picking up. All week we're going to have sunshine. It's going to get into the mid 70s by Saturday. So I'm really looking forward to that. Should be fun. So, and then, just the other scores around the football world on Friday. Morro Bay lost to Santa Maria 21-7. Arroyo Grande beat Atascadero 33-21. St. Joseph beat Paso 44-0. And San Luis didn't have a game, and Rigetti didn't have a game. So the rest of the year for us, we're going to play Morro Bay this week, and then we're going to play AG and St. Joe, San Luis, Rigetti, and Paso. So we've got some tough games on the schedule, but no doubt Coach Crow is working with his staff to make sure that the boys are prepared to do good work and work as hard as they can to make sure that they give themselves the best chance of winning. So really, really thankful for the opportunities that these coaches and the staff give these kids. And so it's just, I can't speak enough about the type of community that we live in, and the parents, the faculty, the staff, everybody involved in giving our kids the best kind of childhood memories and experiences. And so Mr. Matt came on talking about activities for the week, and I'll just run through some of them real quick that he's got going on. This week, Templeton cross country versus St. Joe's on Wednesday. That's their final meet. That's here at it's at Templeton High School. Templeton High School girls soccer happening Tuesday at Pioneer Valley, Thursday at Napomo versus Napomo home. Templeton boys soccer Tuesday versus Atascadero at 5:30. Thursday at Napomo at 5:30. Templeton High School swim versus St. Joe's Saturday at Paul Nelson Pool. It's 10 a.m. Templeton High School football this Friday, March 26th, 7 p.m. Obviously under the lights here in Templeton. Templeton High School softball Wednesday, March 24th versus Pioneer Valley at Pioneer Valley. And then Saturday, March 27th at Orchid Academy. And then baseball. Baseball, I did see on Facebook, Coach Domingos and others, a lot of the student athletes went out there on Saturday to do some work on the pitching mound, and looks like they just completely rebuilt the pitching mound, which is awesome. So a pitcher's dream is to have a nice mound, right? There was nothing worse as a kid going to an opposing stadium or stadium field and getting on the mound and having this big rubber that's sticking up and a big divot right next to the rubber with no dirt. And, just there was nothing worse than a mound that wasn't prepped and ready for you to pitch, because all I could think about was, man, this thing's going to make me roll my ankle if I step off of it wrong. And so Coach Domingos, Tony, and a bunch of the kids and other coaches went out and did some stuff to rebuild that mound. And I think they got some local businesses to help out as well, like Crits Trucking I saw on there donated some stuff. So really, really cool. Again, community involvement, all these people in the community wanting to make the best things for our kids. So baseball this week, Wednesday, March 24th at Mission. Okay. That's going to be fun. That's a 4:30 at Mission. Saturday, March 27th versus Morro Bay. That's going to be at home. And so we'll have a chance to go out and do that. So Eagles 1-0. I'm just going through Mr. Max rundown that he gave us. Okay, so cross country, the boys had Morro Bay. The boys took the victory and the girls lost. They had a good meet though. They ran a 4,000 meter race. Swimming, Eagles make a strong showing in the first two meets. Swimming's off to a great start. All kinds of fun stuff. We had the play was rained out on Friday. And so those tickets got pushed to Sunday, I believe, but they went Thursday, Saturday, Sunday. This week, they're planning on Thursday, Friday, Saturday showings. Tickets are still available. You can go on to the Templeton High School School Loop website and get tickets to Young Frankenstein. That's the theater the theater presentation that they're putting on, Young Frankenstein. So maybe we can get somebody from drama back on this week to talk about how that's going and give us a little bit of an update. So yeah, all kinds of great things happening in our community. It's almost back. I did think of something here. I'm going to sit down for this. My legs are getting a little tired. I did think of something that maybe it's interesting that we're a year into this and we've had a lot of things kind of changing, different rules, different guidelines, different norms, right? And so I had about 3 people that walked up to me to say hi on Friday that because they're wearing their masks, it takes you like an extra 2-3 seconds to, I mean, you're wearing your mask and it takes you like 2 or 3 seconds to really register who it is, right? It's like, oh, okay, I know who it is. So I thought of an idea, like, how come we don't, like, there's got to be a place where you can get your name, like your name printed on your mask, or lanyards with our names on it. I don't know. I just feel like we all need to walk around with name tags at this point because it's really hard to recognize everybody. I had somebody else come up and say, oh yeah, so-and-so gave me a hug and I didn't know who was hugging me. Like, oh, we're not allowed to hug. But I think people just do what they want to do and hopefully stay safe doing it. So, yeah, name tags on masks. Mindy Powers Hammers, if you're listening to this, maybe you can get some name tags on our masks and sell those at the snack bar. I don't know, just a thought. What else? So it was great to see people. It was almost like it was like a homecoming of sorts where people were just even though it's a small town and we all see each other anyways out and about, seeing each other in that environment just made for a kind of a more special traditional homecoming type feeling. And so that was cool. That was really cool. I got a kick out of that. Coach Cherry did an amazing job announcing too, by the way. I'm gonna, for this week's game, look, I apologize if we're talking football, but that's just how it is in my house. Girls volleyball in my house too, by the way. Girls JV team, I hear, is looking really good. And so girls JV volleyball, we're excited for that in our house. But I did think that maybe what I can do this Friday coming up is post real time on the Morning Buzz's Facebook page, the score, as it's happening real time, and so that you can live stream and then just get a notification pop up on your phone if you click the Morning Buzz and follow the Morning Buzz and turn your notifications on, then every time Templeton scores, your phone will pop up with a notification that says the score. I think that'll work that way. So let's try it. So I'll do the real time updates on the scoring this week coming up. So other stuff in case you're joining us. And you missed the news at the top of the show. Anthony Reed from Paso Robles Incidents and Actions didn't really have a whole lot of incidents to report. There was some type of armed burglary type. Caught the guy in the riverbed. That was one thing. The other incident this morning was CHP reported there was a single car football at your house too, 24/7. I can imagine. That's Lori Crow, Coach Crow's wife, is saying that's all that's happening in her house. So, hey, I could think of worse things. So I'll take it. There was a single car incident here this morning, southbound Stockdale Road and Highway 101 north of Paso. A single car rollover. Person it sounded like minor injuries, and so that's something that's positive that they weren't injured too badly. So all right, in the interest of providing you guys with just random information and news and headlines, I thought, you know what, I'm going to do some show prep. I'm going to do some research. I'm going to see what's out there that's interesting, that might catch our eye, and talk about different things. So a couple stories I pulled from the internet. And back in the day when I was actually producing a morning show in LA on the radio for somebody, my job excuse me, my sole job, well, I had a lot of different things I had to do. I had to obviously get coffee for the host of the show, because when you're on the air, in the number 2 market in the world, LA, and you're the host of a show, you can't just like leave what you're doing and go to the kitchen and pour your coffee. So I was the guy that went and got the coffee, but I was also the guy that did all kinds of internet research. And now this is like 1997 to 2001. We didn't have a lot of internet capabilities at that point. There wasn't a lot of information at our fingertips. So, I had to get really good at just research and finding things that were relevant and newsworthy. And And so, you know, I spent every waking hour like searching the internet for news stories that I thought people would enjoy. And so I did some research and I looked at the numbers from the Morning Buzz viewership over the last 2 weeks. And I did see that we have, I mean, the show is being viewed by, I think it's 1,000+ impressions daily, right? And so at any given time, we might have from 3 to 20 people watching the show. But by the end of that 24-hour period, since the show's been out, 1,000 people plus have seen that show in segments and different parts. And then I started to further kind of dig into the numbers and said, okay, so who is watching the show? And surprisingly, it's well, I don't know if it's surprising or not, but it's like 80%, 85% female viewers from the age 35 to 60. And so knowing that, I'm like, okay, I don't, so do female viewers 35 to 60 want to hear about football? I don't know. We've been talking about it all the time, and it seems like they're continuing to watch. So maybe they do want to know about football. Do they want? I don't know. So, in the interest of trying to make this a platform that you guys can sign into every day, watch the show, find it interesting, intriguing, get value. Right. This is something that really. The more value I give you as the host, the more it gives back to me selfishly, right? Because more and more people are watching it. And that's just further validation for me that I'm doing something that might be a service to the community. And so I'm experimenting here. I'm trying to find things that are going to provide more and more value for you guys outside of the school check-ins and talking sports and community things like that. Somebody at church came up to me yesterday and said, "Hey, Mike, I appreciate what you're doing with the show and the focus on the school, because now that I don't have school-age children, it allows me the opportunity to catch up and see what's going on in the school district." So that's kind of cool. I thought that was a really nice compliment to get. And so, hopefully I'm not overdoing the school stuff and giving you guys way more school stuff than you want. But I don't know. So the only way that I can gauge that is by getting feedback from you guys direct, or by just kind of analyzing the numbers. And really for me, this show is all about it's a project that I wanted to take on to do an experiment to see if the show would benefit, or if the community would benefit from a show of this type. And so what are the long-term plans for the show? I have no idea. How long will I do this show? I have no idea. All I know is I felt like it needed to be done. I have a passion for doing it. And what it becomes and what we make of it is just going to be kind of ever changing. And so that's my my analysis, my post game analysis after the first 2 weeks. And so I'm encouraged by actually the people that are continuing to watch on a daily basis. So that's fun. So, all right. So I pulled some fun news articles and stories that I'll go over. Hey, did you know that Facebook is building an Instagram for kids under the age of 13? So when I saw that headline this morning, I thought, I think my kids had an Instagram like at 9 and 11, which probably makes me a bad parent. I don't know. But then I read through the article a little, and like, I didn't even know this, but Facebook has a policy, or current Instagram policy, forbids children under the age of 13 from using the service. So there you go. But what they're trying to do is create an Instagram for kids under 13. They say they're going to be building a new youth pillar within the community product group to focus on two things: One, accelerating the integrity and privacy work to ensure the safest possible experience for teens. Okay. And then B, building a version of Instagram that allows people under the age of 13 to safely use Instagram for the first time. So, Instagram, building a platform for kids under 13 to, it's going to be like a kind of like a little league, right? For, um, it's going to be a little league or almost like a boys and girls or like a youth program that trains them to become professional Instagrammers or adult Instagrammers. So that's an interesting story. That's out of BuzzFeed. So I kind of scroll through BuzzFeed in the morning too. So I'll post that online so you guys can read it and scratch your head just like I'm scratching my head. The other thing, let's see here. Another thing. Oh, all right. Real estate news. Did you know that there are more realtors? There are more realtors than houses listed for. So let's see here. Oh, I think I have it right here, actually. Wall Street Journal is saying there are, it's like over 1.4 million realtors registered, I think, something like that. And there's only 1.1 million houses for sale. So that is something that I found really intriguing. Allison, my wife, wanted to be a realtor when she was a little kid, and she would cut out pictures of houses and pictures of the interior and make posters with them and put them all over her room. She told me this story. I thought that was cute. And so a lot of great realtors that we know in our community. Seems like real estate is still hot. But yeah, I'll be honest. I think realtors, good real estate agents are some of the hardest working people that you've ever met. They are always working. Doesn't it seem like that? It's just nonstop. So, yeah, 24/7 on the phone, writing up offers, accepting offers, doing visits, scheduling inspections, doing all of these things, dealing with phone calls, putting new listings up. It's nonstop, nights, weekends. Great realtors are just a different breed. They live, eat, sleep, and breathe for being able to go out and just serve people. It's really cool. So, all right, I work out. Well, I'll be honest. Hey, Brent Poppin says, have a great start to an inspired week. Thanks, Brent. You too, man. I appreciate you tuning in. All right. So I've been really, when the stay-at-home order happened, gosh, a year ago, I was really good about working out, on my own for about 6 weeks. And then I just stopped and I just completely, fell off the deep end and started going sporadically. And if you don't know, like for the 2 years previous to the pandemic, I was at the gym 4 a.m. every single day, Monday through Friday, Saturdays at 8 a.m., working out hour and a half, watching my diet, watching, all things. Just I wanted to make sure that by the time I was 45, I was in the best shape of my life. And so I'm 43 now. And the last 10 months have been not good for me in terms of my diet and exercise. And I've been going like this, up and down and up and down and up and down. And, hitting the gym maybe once a week, twice a week, 3 times a week, or going 5 days a week for 3 weeks and then stopping for 5 weeks. And it's just been all over the map. And so One of my initiatives and goals in the spring is to get back to the gym. But having said that, the trainers that I worked with, and I never, before I went to the gym at 40 years old, 41 years old, I never worked out really. In high school, I was an athlete, but I was a pitcher. And so, you're a 15, 16, 17-year-old pitcher on a baseball team in high school. You don't work out. You screw off with your buddies and try to do as little workouts as possible and then just pitch. I wasn't allowed to hit. My coach didn't let me hit because I was afraid of the ball. And so I was a terrible batter. But two, I just didn't have the work ethic or the want to go in and work out and get better at it. I loved pitching. And the thing I loved about the pitching was you got the ball every single play. You were the center of attention. And the psychological game between you and the batter was so much fun. And so, that's what I loved about pitching and baseball. The game itself, love it. But it's like, if I never saw another baseball game again, it wouldn't be the end of my world, right? And so, anyways, never worked out. So at 41, I decided to work out at the lab in Paso with Bradford Young, and Bradford's awesome. Bradford did a number of things for me. Mainly, first off, started with evaluating me for a good 4 weeks, looking to see how balanced I was, looking to see what my range of motion was, any, past injuries, just kind of evaluated my body and then built a program around my limitations and then, stretch them further and further as we progressed. And so really when I get back, I'm going to have to go to square one. But one of the things he did, which was interesting, was had me work lifting weights, right? Doing squats and doing, core exercises, deadlifts and whatnot with bare feet. And so there's an article that's out. It's on CNET, but the article kind of talks about the pros and cons of working out barefoot and doing different things barefoot. And so I'll post that article. I know we're getting close to wrapping up, so I'll post that article on the Morning Buzz. I think it's interesting. I'm also toying with the idea of maybe putting out a morning newsletter for everyone to just kind of get basic facts of what you need to know and when you need to know it. There's another health trend that's happening right now that's basically pushing an extreme method for stress management. These guys, this guy Wim Hof, I think, or Wim Hof, however you say it, he's a Dutchman, but he's all about ice and cold and chilling your body. So he just spent 61 minutes on ice for his 61st birthday. So anyways, fun stuff. It's Monday. Thank you so much for joining me. The Morning Buzz. Hold on, let me do this real quick to make sure that we're keeping in theme. Keeping in theme with the Morning Buzz. Here we go. Do we have the music? There we go. All right, it was a manic Monday. We completely lost our feed. We lost our guests. Hey, but we made it. So it's Monday. Go out and love your neighbors. Do nice things for people. Do not let negative people bring you down. Surround yourself with positivity and just understand that yesterday's gone. Today's a new day. Start fresh. Be kind. We'll talk to you guys later.